Imagine a dusty city street completely overtaken by horns, drums, and a massive parade. At the front walks a highly successful millionaire. The centerpiece of his extravagant display is entirely baffling. He is carrying a solid golden rat. It has ruby eyes, sits inside a silver trap, and is hoisted up for the entire city to see. The millionaire halts his musicians outside the grand estate of an older merchant. He announces to the crowd that he has arrived to repay an old debt. The older merchant leans heavily on his cane, staring down at the offering in total confusion. He expects traditional currency, yet he is being handed a heavy golden rodent. Why would a millionaire credit his sprawling business empire to a dead rat? And why choose a solid gold replica to settle his accounts? To understand the gold, we have to go back to a bleak, empty house many years earlier, where this millionaire lived in absolute poverty. His father abandoned the family before Ratnanka was even born. That departure left 3 generations of women and 1 young boy entirely destitute, with 0 assets to rely on. Driven by sheer desperation, the 10-year-old boy approaches the city's most formidable moneylender. He needs a business loan, but he has absolutely no collateral to offer. Ratnanka's starting position is far below 0. He carries the weight of familial debt and deep desperation, requiring a massive external catalyst simply to survive. Young Ratnanka tracks down Yakshadatta, the wealthy moneylender, while the man is out for a stroll. He explains his family's misery and begs for a tiny sum of startup capital. Yakshadatta laughs in his face. He flatly refuses to hand over a single coin to a boy with no standing. Instead, the older merchant spots a dead rat lying in the street. He sarcastically offers the carcass as starting capital, taunting, "To an intelligent man, it will fetch millions. And even if I give millions to an unintelligent man, it will be of no use." Ratnanka doesn't see an insult. He sees a commodity. He recognizes that value isn't a fixed property of an object, but a product of how that object is utilized. Ratnanka immediately tests this theory. He places the dead rat in a leaf cup and sells it as cat food to a local shopkeeper. His payment is a handful of raw Bengal gram, a type of chickpea. The text outlines his labor process. He soaked the Bengal gram to swell its size, added salt and pepper, and carried it in an earthen pitcher. He offered the snacks and cold water to exhausted woodcutters, exchanging them for firewood. This flowchart tracks his compounding loop. Labor applied to Bengal gram, traded for firewood, sold for coins, to buy more Bengal gram. To scale, he uses a kuncham, moving from processing a handful of beans to a full kuncham daily. He applies strict financial discipline to his profits. Out of every 2 rupees earned, 1 goes straight into savings, and the other is reinvested into purchasing tomorrow's Bengal gram. Ratnanka has built a systematic, self-sustaining microeconomy. He generates currency entirely by adding value through labor. Then the environment shifts. A sudden, relentless rainstorm hits the city and pours for 10 straight days, completely flooding the streets. The rain triggers an immediate crisis. With streets underwater, the city's dry firewood supply vanishes overnight. Because Ratnanka systematically stockpiled fuel during the dry days, his inventory of dry firewood now commands a significant price. He liquidates his stockpile for 100 gold coins. He immediately uses this cash to open a proper timber stall. The combination of his steady stockpiling and the sudden shortage changes his trajectory. He moves from street trades to established commerce. Which brings us back to the present day, with the millionaire Ratnanka standing at the gates of Yakshadatta's estate. After that timber stall, Ratnanka expanded into cloth, then grain, and finally diamonds. Every single piece of that empire was seeded by the dead rat. He formally presents the golden rat to Yakshadatta. It weighs exactly 1 kilo, adorned with diamond chains and ruby eyes, paying back the loan in full. The older merchant stares at the gold. His initial confusion dissolves into deep humility as he grasps exactly what the younger man has achieved. The weight of the gold serves as a reminder. Starting capital is only as valuable as the discipline behind it. Ratnanka returned to the man who mocked him, not to settle a score, but to prove that a focused mind can turn a sarcastic insult into a permanent fortune.